Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's Bunny Garcia. It's been a minute, I know. I'm back today with another makeup look, and today I created something with a little bit more color. I'm gonna be trying out some different products that I just recently got, and I wanted to try them out with you guys, of course. And I really like the outcome of this makeup. Actually, I think it looks really pretty. And if you guys would like to see how I created this look, you guys know what to do. Just stick around, keep on watching, and let's just get right into the video. So I don't know what it is with primers right now, but my face doesn't really seem to be liking face primer at the moment. I'm gonna be going in with my foundation just directly without any primer. During the winter time, I was doing like a combination of golden beige and soft beige. So I would do like a little bit of each, and that would give me like the perfect color. This one's a little bit bronzier and I like it, but sometimes I feel like it doesn't match my skin as well. So that's why I was doing the mixture with the other one. And I'm using the Juno & Co. Sponge. I got this a few months ago, and honestly, I don't love it. I feel like it's a little too stiff. And this sponge is supposed to be like a sponge that doesn't absorb like as much foundation as the other sponges do, which I wouldn't necessarily say it's true 100%, but it does give my foundation like a really thick layer, almost like it's not really like picking up as much, even though my sponge shows that it does. But it's just not as soft as I would like it to be. It's not as soft as my beauty blender, so I hardly use this one, but I want to use it a little bit more, so this is why I'm using it today. Even cleaning this thing is really hard. And I usually apply the same amount of product. I feel like this beauty blender actually didn't absorb as much because it looks like I have a lot of foundation on. Maybe I'm just used to my beauty blender absorbing most of it, so I didn't realize how much product I was applying to my face. That could definitely be it. Dang, my face looks super like covered in foundation. It looks flawless. I don't know if you guys can see it as nice as I can, but it's like really full coverage, which is good. I don't know what it was, if it was the amount of product that I used or if it was the sponge, but it's not so bad. As long as it doesn't get oily, because I didn't apply any primer. So I'll definitely be putting some like setting powder to keep it all matte all day. So next I'm going to be going in with some concealer. This is the Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circles Concealer, and this one I purchased in a color that is actually closer to my skin tone. It's not necessarily for brightening, it's just to help it's just like, it's mainly more for like helping cover my under eyes. I'm gonna apply a little bit of this, and as you guys can see, it's almost about the same color as my foundation. It's a little bit lighter, so it does brighten a little bit, but it's not as dramatic as like other concealers that I've used. So I like this one. This is more of like a natural type of concealer. Yeah, this sponge is really it's really hard. I mean, it blends really nicely, it looks really nice. It's just hard to work with it. And add a little bit of setting powder. Guys, this is the only powder that I've ever used, really. It's like never ending. I've had this for I don't know how freaking long. I'm gonna add some to my under eyes. And the sides of my nose as well. And I'm going to leave this here for a little bit. So I'm actually gonna bake for the first time in a while, because honestly I'm afraid of like my face caking up and getting all oily because of how nice the foundation went on. It kind of scares me a little bit, so I'm just adding like a thick layer of powder under my eyes and on top of my eyes and on the side of my nose, and I'll probably set the rest of my face. I'm just like worried, honestly, so I'm gonna look like a ghost for a little bit, but I'm hoping that this is going to prevent like my face getting all oily any creasing, like especially the smile line right here. I'm gonna leave some powder just sitting there for a little bit. I did add like a little bit of setting powder on my brows as well. And now I'm just gonna kind of dust it off with my spoolie, and that way the powder grabs on really nicely. I've noticed that sometimes when my brows have like maybe a little bit of primer on there, like if I accidentally got primer on my brows, sometimes the product, like the brow product, doesn't want to grab on as easily, so the powder will actually like dry them up a little bit, and the brow product should like stick on easier. So I'm taking my favorite brow product that you guys already know is the Brow Shake by Rimmel London. And I'm just gonna go right in and do my brows real quick. Okay, so now that the brows are done, I'm gonna go ahead and wipe away this powder that has been sitting on my face for at least 10 minutes, I wanna say. And as I'm doing that, I'm kind of blending it into the rest of my face. So in a way, I'm kind of setting the rest of my face. Next, I'm gonna add my Continuous Mist by Morphe, and this is just gonna help blend in that powder that I added. I feel like it was a little bit too much powder for my normal liking, so I'm gonna add the setting spray so I could blend in with my foundation much better. This just makes it like one, it just evens it out really nicely. So now that that is done, I can go ahead and move on to the eyes. And for today, I'm gonna be taking the Urban Decay Born to Run eyeshadow palette, and this is such a really pretty palette. I honestly hadn't even heard of this palette. I feel like I've been so like out of the beauty world recently. I haven't really been like dedicating any time to like my channel, and I haven't even been watching like videos, like I haven't even been watching like tutorials or anything on YouTube, so I've kind of like neglected that. And it, you know, now that I'm saying it out loud, it kind of just hurts a little bit because it's what I really like to do. So why have I not been into it as much as I was before? But anyway, this is why I hadn't really heard about this palette, but it's a really, really pretty palette. It's got a really huge mirror too that I would show you guys, but I'm actually not going to do so. These are the colors that are on the inside, and they're really, really pretty, really pigmented. I'm gonna do a swatch for you guys, and the first eyeshadow that really caught my eye was definitely this one here, and it's really, really nice. Look at this pigmentation. So pretty. Urban Decay's products, like, they're really, really good stuff, but when you guys can actually see how nicely this shows just on a swatch, like, you know that it's gonna be good stuff. I have like my Juvia's Place palette that every time I try to do a swatch on my hand like that, it doesn't look good, but on my eyes it looks amazing. So if a swatch can convince you guys, then just know that it's gonna be greater on the eyes. So those are just like the two swatches that I wanted to show you guys. So my go-to look recently has just been taking some bronzer on this like really fluffy thick brush, and I've just been applying it in my crease, adding my lashes, and I'm done. Like, not even any eyeliner sometimes. But I really like this brush for adding colors in my crease and blending them in really nicely. I do notice that a lot of these shadows have glitter. Not all of them, but some of them do have a little bit of like a sheen to it. So I'm gonna be taking Weekender, which is this shade right here, and I'm just gonna add a little bit onto my crease. And I haven't tried any of these shadows yet, so I'm really hoping that they are what I'm expecting them to be. But as you can tell, this color is already a really nice like transition shade, which is really what I was going for. So just adding this into the crease, and I really like how this brush blends it out. It's a lot thicker, and so it doesn't give me like a precise application, which is actually what I want. I want it to be really blended out, and more like in this area here. Sometimes when you take like a thinner brush, it just takes longer and it concentrates it more in the area that you're applying it. But for here, I just want it to be kind of like all over the bone, this thicker part of my eye. So I realized that this year I didn't even film a look for you guys for my birthday, which I had been trying to do. And I knew that I really wanted to do it this year, but when it came down to it, like when the time came down to my birthday, I actually ended up not really doing so much with my makeup this year because I had such a dramatic like outfit. If you guys didn't check out my Instagram, my dress was covered in sequins, and so it was super sparkly, and it was just like over the top. So I knew that I really wanted to keep it simple with my makeup. And honestly, I think I just had like a little bit of like bronzer in my crease, and that was it. And then after that was just like my lashes. I don't even think I wore eyeliner. Like it was as simple as it could get. Like it was really simple. And then for my lips, I think I had kind of like a nude lipstick, and that was it. I just knew that I didn't want anything really dramatic on my eyes or on my face because it was just going to be way too much. So that is why I didn't record anything. And I kind of wish I had, just for the sake of my birthday, but there's really nothing to record about. So now that I have a little bit of color in my crease, I'm going to go ahead and darken it up a little bit. What I want to do is add a little bit of like a smoky eye, but then bring some yellow into the look. So I'm gonna take this shade right here, Riff, and I'm gonna add that kind of more on the outer part of my eye, but still bringing it in towards the inner part of my eye. I'm just blending it in with the same brush because I don't know why actually. I'm just blending it in. I don't really have a particular look that I want to do. I just know I want to add a little bit of yellow. Do I ever really know what looks I'm trying to do? No. I just always pick like a color in my head or a palette and I just kind of go with it. So let's see how this turns out. My birthday this year was so fun. Like I've been doing, for the last like 5 years or so, I've been doing a birthday dinner with my girls and my good friend and one of my good friends who we shared like the same birthday with. And so we had dinner the weekend before our birthdays, and then so we had manis and petties the weekend before our birthdays, which was really fun. We had that, and then we went to go have dinner right after, and we were out for a few hours. It was really fun. Dinner was great. My gifts were fun. Everything about it was really good. We actually got tattoos that day. My best friend and I got tattoos, matching tattoos. We got like bestie tattoos, and that was like the beginning of our day that Saturday. That was really fun. And then the actual day of my birthday, we went out dancing as we usually do. I feel like it's just become a tradition, and I really love that I have, you know, special people in my life that'll come out and support me and hang out with me and actually just want to go and celebrate my birthday with me, because everybody around me knows how important my birthday is to me. So big thank you to all of my friends and to all of my, basically like my family. You guys are like my family. Everybody who's always there for me and, you know, supporting me, making me feel special. Next year's gonna be even better because it's gonna be my golden birthday, so I'll be 29 on the 29th, and I definitely want to go all out. And then on my 30th birthday, I definitely have to go all out because of course I'm gonna be 30. I cannot believe I'm gonna be freaking 30, but that is reality. And I'm thinking that after that, I just don't want to celebrate like I do anymore. After my 30th birthday, I think I want to just take it easy, and planning sometimes actually, you know, can be a little bit stressful, and worrying about who's actually showing up and stuff like that. So I think 30 might be my last birthday. So these colors, like, I'm really impressed the way that everything is blending out. It looks really pretty. What color should I add? I don't know if you guys can hear me cleaning my brushes on my shorts because that's just what I do, apparently. I think I'm gonna go in with Punk, which is this brown right here. And I'm gonna be adding this right on the lid. Just a little bit. I don't wanna make it super dark. I'm kind of blending this in into the other colors, so it just, there's a little bit of color, but not too much. I am really impressed with this palette, honestly, guys. Like, you can try some palettes and know that they blend out really nice and that just like the product is really good. But when you get a blending like this, I don't know if you guys can see it as good as I can. Like, I don't know if it looks as good as it does in person, like if it looks that good in oh, I can't freaking talk, like if it looks that good on camera. But it really looks like I took my freaking whole life trying to blend this eyeshadow out. It looks really pretty. And I'm just taking a tiny bit of product and blending it in. It's not even a lot. And it just covered up my whole eyelid like I wanted it to. So the other day I was talking to somebody and I accidentally said, so the other day I was having a conversation with somebody and I was messaging with my, it was like a text message conversation that we were having, and I said something about, oh, they asked me how my day was going. And I said, oh, it's going great. You know, we got our chairs in. So recently at work, we got a new location. So we ordered some new chairs for like the lab where we work in, and they hadn't came in. So we had been standing for like it was like a week and a half that we were standing. And finally the chairs came in, and so they asked me, how has your day been? And I'm like, oh, it's been great. You know, we finally got our chairs in, and now I don't have to be standing all day. And so when I was telling my watch that, you know, when I was telling my watch we finally got our chairs in, it actually put, oh, no. Scratch that. Okay, the other day, let me start over. The other day, I was having a conversation with somebody and they said, how is your day going? And I said, oh, it would be better if, I said it's good, but it would be better if I had a chair. And my watch sometimes doesn't like pick up exactly what I say. So I don't know, for some reason it typed, it would be better if I had a churro. And I didn't realize it, but sometimes like when you say something to your watch and then you hit send, sometimes it's still like it tries to like fix it for you. So when I sent it, before I sent it, it looked fine. It said chair, it looked good. And then when I hit send, it started to like alter it a little bit, and then it switched it to churro, and I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I did not say churro. So I started to like quickly try to correct it, you know? So I'm like, no, not churro, not churro. But then I started thinking, churros sound really good right now. And if you guys know me, you know I am like a big foodie person. So ever since that day, like I've been talking to my coworkers and I'm like, we need to go get some churros. And we actually have this like churro truck down the street from where we work. The only thing is I checked on the hours, and the hours are kind of dumb. Like they only open from like 1 to 2, which is like, who does that, you know? Like only during your lunch hour, which isn't even our lunch hour either, so it doesn't even work. I'm trying to find my eyeshadow palette. Funny that I was actually talking about my Juvia's Place palette, but I'm gonna be going in with this one, and I'm taking the yellow shade in here. This one. And I'm gonna be adding this to the inner part of my eye, just to give it a little bit more like color. And of course blending it into the other color that I have. I wanted it to be like a bright yellow. This is more of a like a mustard yellow, which is fine because it actually looks really pretty with the browns that I have in here. But the look that I was envisioning was like more of a bright yellow, which in the palette it actually looks a little bit, it looks brighter, but I think when I blend it in with the yellows, I think when I blend it in with the browns here, it kind of turns it more mustardy than it really is. So back to the churro truck. We have this churro truck that's like down the street from where we work. Okay, it's probably a little bit further, but now that I moved to the city, like everything feels like it's like down the street. I mean, I've been here for like almost 2 years, but every time that we needed to come to town to get something, like it was at least an hour away. So now that we're like really close, like 5-10 minutes away, everything seems like it's just down the street. So that's why I say that the churro truck is down the street or across the street or whatever. But anyways, they have this little churro truck and it looks so good, and I've never been to it, but it shows like you can get churros with like this filling in it or like with this. So they just have like different ways of serving the churros. It's not just like here, just like a plain churro, you know what I mean? But if it's a churro truck, like their churros must be delicious because hey, that's their specialty. That's what they specialize in, churros. You know how I would love a churro? I would love churro with like ice cream in it. Have you guys seen like those churro bowls that they make, and then it's like a bowl and then they put like the ice cream inside the churro bowl? Oh my god. Yeah, I want me one of those. I love ice cream. Why am I talking about food right now? God, I have issues. I have issues. You got them too. Okay, I think that looks pretty good, so I'm gonna go ahead and just leave that as it is. I'm not gonna be adding any eyeliner. I've kind of been liking just the way that it looks without eyeliner and just the lashes that I've been using. Make it look really full and pretty, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of mascara, which you guys don't really need to see, so I'm just gonna add it real quick. Okay, so now that the mascara is done, I'm gonna go ahead and apply some lashes. I'm gonna be taking the Dodo lashes. These are the D15 lashes, and I've already worn these, so these are already cut out and they're already like adjusted to my eyes. I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little bit of glue to these and let them sit while I add a little bit of bronzer to my face. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop right there with the bronzer and apply my lashes before they completely dry. I usually forget about them when I get carried away with bronzing. I still need to do a little bit on my nose, so I'm gonna come back to that right now. I have a tendency of like plucking anything that I don't like if I have a freaking baby hair that's sticking out and it's just like annoying the crap out of me, I'll just like yank it out instead of like trying to flatten it out. And I had a little nose hair right now, TMI, I know. I had a little nose hair right now that had gotten like a little bit of like setting powder, so it was sticking out a lot, so I just plucked it with my with my tweezers, and it fucking hurt, and it's probably gonna make my eyes water now because it's still hurting. So after I apply my lashes, I always like to kind of fan them out like this with my nail to make sure that everything is completely like stuck. I don't like any little gaps or anything. This one didn't fully stick right here, so I'm gonna do that part again. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of glue to just that little part of the eyelash and let it dry. I am gonna move on to contouring my nose a little bit. So I'm taking a little bit of bronzer on that same brush that I used at first for the blending in my crease. I'm just gonna take it and add a little bit on my nose here and here, just on the sides. So on this sides, and just blend it in. I'm not doing a lot. I don't really like to contour my nose too much. And then I just like to take the sponge that I was using and kind of go back through the middle part of my, like right on top of my nose, to kind of blend in the contour. I don't want it to be too harsh. Now this eyelash came off, so I added a little bit of glue on the inner part of my eyelash. So if you guys notice that it's not really stuck, that is why. And I'm gonna be moving on to a little bit of blush. So I'm just taking my Milani Luminoso Baked Blush, and I'm just adding a tiny bit here on the cheeks. Mainly like on the front part of my cheeks. What is this, like the apples of my cheeks or something? So I'm adding a little bit because I don't really want to use highlight today. But this will give me like a sheen, so that should be enough. I'm gonna move on to the lips. I'm just cleaning some of that chapstick off my lips, just a little bit. I don't want them to be like covered in chapstick, because sometimes the matte lipsticks don't dry as good if you have chapstick on. It's always good to wear a little bit of chapstick underneath a mattifying lipstick, because sometimes they feel crusty, like, you know, within a couple hours. So I always add a little bit of chapstick, but I try to remove some of it so that it just leaves my lips feeling moisturized but not too moisturized, if that makes sense. So I'm going to be taking some lip liner, and this is a waterproof lip liner by BH Cosmetics, and I'm just going to outline a little bit on the outer parts of my lips. It's a nude, so it's not like super noticeable, but this is going to help too with like any of the lipsticks kind of like smearing. And with nudes, I like to get rid of like this little how do I call it, like that little break in my lip. It's like where my Cupid's bow is at. I like to get rid of it. So I kind of do that, kind of get rid of that Cupid's bow part. And next I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna fill my lips in with this BH liquid lipstick. This is in the shade Sophia. So this is a mattifying lipstick, and I'm just gonna use it to fill in my lips. So I'm thinking I do want to add a tiny bit of highlight, so I'm just taking my Makeup Revolution highlight, and I'm just going to add a little bit on a fan brush. And I'm adding a tiny bit just here on the cheeks, on the high points of my cheeks. A tiny bit. Same to the other side. A little bit on my Cupid's bow. Whatever's left over. And then I want to add a little bit to my nose as well. And this pretty much completes today's look. I actually really liked how it turned out. It's funny when you don't have like a specific look in mind and you start playing with color, and it can be very scary at times because you don't know how it's going to turn out, and it could be really bad, honestly. Color is really intimidating sometimes, but I love to experiment with different stuff. So it had been a while since I hadn't done like any color with my eyes. But let me know what you guys think. I think overall the look looks really pretty, and it's not like too much. It's just a little bit of pop of color on the eyes. Nude lipstick, of course, to kind of just tie it all together. I also have another video that I've been working on for you guys, and it is kind of like the process of how I'm going blonde. As you guys know, sometimes going blonde can be a process, a slow process for that matter, because I was like, I did have black hair before, and so sometimes getting that out to put like the blonde in can be really hard. And so I have been going in, I've gone in a couple times already to do my blonde, and I've been recording little by little. So this next time that I'm gonna go in, I'm hoping to film the last part of the process with this, you know, long journey that I've been doing. That way I could put a video together for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy that one as well. I'll let you guys know when that one's ready, of course. For now, this is going to complete the look. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for subscribing and being here for me, even though I'm not very consistent on uploading my videos, but nevertheless, I will never be fully neglecting my YouTube channel. This is what makes me happy, so I will be uploading as often as I can, and that's it for now. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.